Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we will be baking some birthday cake cookies. I'd actually baked these for my son's 9th birthday. They are really delicious with white chocolate and mini M&Ms in it. So let's begin. So as in my previous cookies as well, the butter that we use has to be cold butter. You can use a hand mixer or a stand mixer like the one that I'm using. We're basically going to break down the butter since it is extremely cold, so that it's easier to mix in with the other ingredients. I have started the mixer on high and then decided to switch it to a lower speed because the butter was flying all over the place. So it completely depends on your mixer and how it is. So I'll beat this for about a minute or so, and then we'll go on to the next. Once you have your butter broken down into smaller bits, you can just scrape it off your beater and add in your sugars. Now I have used both brown and white sugar. The brown sugar enhances the taste, and the white sugar helps you to get your cookie stay in shape rather than spread out completely. What I'm going to do is now beat the sugar. Just be very careful. When I started beating it, I had sugar flying all over the place. So be careful with your speed this time. Make sure it's not too fast, but say around speed 1 would be great for this stage. Mix your butter and your sugar where they pretty much look like clumps, but do not worry about that. It will all break down once we move further into the process. Now you can see the butter is well mixed with the sugar. We'll move on to the eggs. I have used 2 full eggs and 1 egg yolk in this recipe. Add in some vanilla extract or vanilla essence. You can use whatever you have handy. I've used a professional vanilla extract, but that's not necessary at all for this recipe. Mix the 2 ingredients well before you incorporate it into your butter sugar mixture. This just helps in the mixing process when you put the eggs back into the butter itself. Now pour in your eggs into your butter and your sugar. Do not pour everything at one time. Make sure you break it down to 3 to 4 intervals so that you have enough time to mix the eggs and the butter well, and they incorporate well into each other. This also prevents you from over mixing and getting your butter all overworked and melted even before you add in your dry ingredients. So that's something I would definitely suggest doing. After you added the last bit of egg into the mixing bowl, you've got to scrape down, but please hold on to your spatula. I let go and my spatula went all around the bowl. Or you turn off this mixer, which I completely forgot to do while making this video. So yeah, scrape down your bowl, get everything on the sides to the center of your bowl, so that you know everything is well incorporated. So now, because I'm going to continue mixing by hand, I've taken my bowl off and I'm going to sift in my dry ingredients. So I have used all-purpose flour, so I add that into my sift, and as well as I have used self-raising flour in this recipe. So I will sift that as well, along with my baking soda and my salt as well. This just ensures that you get rid of any kind of lumps that can be present in any kind of dry ingredient. It could be sugar, it could be flour. In this case, it's the flour that I'm using. So I'm going to sift that well into my eggs and butter, and then we will mix it by hand using this, just a spatula. So once that's done, we will gradually mix it in to your wet mixture. I know at this point it looks awfully dry, but do not add any kind of liquid into your batter. It will come together. Just give it some time. You just need a little bit patience. Yes, and it's a bit tough to mix in at this point, but yeah, it will all come together, and you will definitely get a nice looking cookie dough. So just keep mixing it gradually till you do not see any flour in your batter or your cookie dough in this case. As soon as you see that all your flour has disappeared, stop mixing. Do not over mix at any point. Yeah, making cookies by hand can sometimes take a lot of hard work. It can be kind of a good workout for your arms as well, and that's exactly how I felt making this particular cookie. But yeah, but it's all worth it at the end of it. Guys, if you're enjoying this video and think these are recipes y'all can make, do not forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so that you'll get notified when new videos are out. See, you've now got a nice looking cookie dough after all that hard work and that mixing. My bowl did move around a lot because it was just that tough to mix all that together. I'm now going to add chocolate. I have used white chocolate. You can see the big chunks of white chocolate, and then I've also used caramelized chocolate chips. If you don't get the caramelized chocolate chips, you can just be free to use whatever you have in your particular store. And I've used mini M&Ms, so you can put that in for added color. So that's what makes it colorful and gives it the the birthday cake kind of a look. So I've used 3 kind of chocolates in this particular recipe to make it look attractive. Mix it in just enough so that you know it's well incorporated into your cookie dough. You do not need to overmix it because you've pretty much mixed in everything else into your cookie dough. So here I'm just basically bringing everything together so that it just looks a little bit neat in my bowl. I am like that sometimes. I want everything to look neat. But yeah, it's perfect at this stage. We'll now go on to forming your cookies. I would have refrigerated it if it was extremely soft, but I felt that it was quite okay. So I've just moved on to the next stage and started forming my cookies. I've taken approximate sizes, just roll them into my hand, but you can use 2 tablespoons, you can use an ice cream scoop, you can even weigh your cookies to make sure you've got them all correct, but I've just eyeballed them at this time. I've made them into fairly large size cookie dough balls because these cookies are quite large, hence if you notice they're quite big on the tray as well. We are going to freeze them, so don't worry about spacing them. Just make sure they don't stick to each other. That's your goal at this stage, so that when you take them off the freezer, it's easy to transfer them onto your baking sheet before putting them into the oven. So this is what it looks like after you've formed them. I did freeze them for about an hour, and what I did here was I put in a baking sheet in the oven while preheating the oven for about 10 minutes at 150 degrees centigrade, and I directly transferred the cookies onto that sheet so that they get crispy at the bottom as soon as they get into the oven. I have baked the cookies for around 13 to 14 minutes, but always keep an eye so that around the 10-minute mark, you notice whether your cookies are completely baked. They should be brown on the top and a darker brown at the bottom of the cookie. And there you go, this is what they look like. Oh my goodness, they are absolutely delicious. And the white chocolate melts so that you feel like you're eating cream. And like you see the picture here with my son, really enjoying. This was not edited at all. This was not scripted. He actually loved that cookie. So guys, try making them. I'm sure y'all will enjoy it. You can even use it to give it to kids during birthday parties, but it's definitely a hit. Thank you for watching.